Andy, a big win against Bristol last time out.
Massive win, yeah. Obviously going into the game, we were all acutely aware of the fact that, we were playing second in the league. It was a real good opportunity for us to respond from a draw against Durham, and obviously they're a team who in and around us as well, although we played well in the Durham game, so it took a lot of confidence going into the fixture in the sense of we'd had 2 really good weeks of training. The Durham game we played well and created a lot of opportunities. We probably just didn't convert the chances we created. And as I say, it took the biggest confidence was that, it was a really good couple of weeks of training leading in, and I think that certainly reflected itself in terms of the performance.
What has this done for the confidence in the group?
It's a huge, shot in the arm in terms of that confidence, very much. I think the players were aware, obviously everyone's aware that, when you get to the last 5-6 games of a season and you're within, touching distance of the top 2 teams, then every point in every game does matter. Still was very much of the mindset if we hadn't collected 3 points, it wasn't going to be defining of the season for us, because I still think looking at the league and looking at how teams are performing, teams are going to take points off each other right the way to the last fixture. So it wasn't to the point where I was worried if we didn't come away with 3 points it would be a huge issue for us, but certainly picking the 3 points up more from, as you say, a confidence thing for the players is a real big deal, and certainly something we were really proud of.
It speaks volumes for these young players that they can go into a fixture with such pressure and deal with it.
Yeah, and you're right, and that's something that any young player will come across at some stage in the career. Generally, you'll have a senior team where you might have maybe 3 or 4 young players at most playing at the one time. As you know, we've got maybe 8-9 young players who are expected to, be really competing in a senior environment and having the pressure of, if you like, winning games of football and developing at the same time. So I think we've turned the corner with this performance, in as much as, maybe previous games, as you say, it's pressure, it's how you perceive it, I suppose. And I think the girls, what they done tremendously well was actually looked at as something to embrace, something to thrive off, and then something to go and show everyone what a really good team we are, and obviously individually what good players they are.
Just how big of an impact have the more senior players had on the group and in terms of leading the way? Yeah,
that's important, and even those senior players, you're talking like Dan Turner, who's 23, 24, Michelle, 25, the twins, Kelly and Vic, 27, so they're not. Joey's obviously been brilliant for us, Crystal Johnson, that is, not Joey as we all know her, but those players have been brilliant for us and really bring, that little bit of maturity to the group in terms of that responsibility and giving the girls some advice, and some really good advice and help and support. But I think, as you've mentioned, it was great to see our young players then go, we're happy to go to, second in the league, and we're happy to go and really put on a strong performance, and what certainly was certainly the first 15-20 minutes was such a dominant performance as well. So that takes a great deal of courage and bravery, and normally those words are associated not with almost getting on the ball. It's sometimes associated with how many tackles you put in or how many clearances you make, but that was very much the message: be brave and be courageous in terms of showing how good we are as a footballing side.
3 away games in the last 5 games, that's a tough ask, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's the way the fixtures have turned out. Obviously one of those games is one that we're playing catch up, if you like, in terms of game in hand. So would you want it the other way, 3 at home and 2 away? Probably, but the reality is, again, the performances have suggested to me, and none more so than the one at the weekend, that we're happy to go away from home and put on really good performances and show what a good side we are. So the reality of it is that I just look at it as 5 games and 5 opportunities for us to show what a good side we are.